Hello friends, and welcome back to our little coffee club. Today we're going to be doing something a little different, but we're going to start with a shot of espresso. I have received another couple of bags from Good Brothers, and I have to say recently we had a lot of conversation below in the comments as to perhaps me not showing a lot of variety, different roasters here on the channel. But I'm going to have to disagree with that because yes, I love Good Brothers. Brent has always shown his support for my channel. He was one of my very first subscribers, believe it or not. But most of the coffee that you guys see here from Good Brothers, I buy it myself. Brent has sent me maybe a couple of bags. Everything else I have bought myself. I love his stuff. I love his coffee. And I think as long as you have a good, capable, roaster that you're buying from, I think it's all about the beans, really. It just depends where that roaster is sourcing their beans from. A lot of times, the roasters, they purchase the same beans. So you end up seeing the same coffee roasted by, say, Good Brothers, and you see it at Say, and you see it at DAC, at Manhattan, and at a lot of other roasters. So I think it's all about the beans. It's true that a roaster could bring something out special out of those beans. But in my experience, I have already tried a lot of different coffees here on the channel. And I think you can get excellent results from just about all the good roasters out there. Good Brothers being one of them. Now, Good Brothers offers great pricing. That's another thing that, some of them are a little bit pricier, but I want to show my support for all of them. So therefore, I have received like a small list of roasters that maybe I should look into. And some of the ones that they suggested, I've already done. Like Onyx, I had already reviewed Onyx, and I think there's at least, oh yeah, they were talking about Say. We just did Say, right? So we did Say, I've done Onyx. You guys have seen me do a bunch of other ones. I've done September, which I love. By the way, my second favorite coffee I think I've ever had was the one from September, the plum coffee. It's just mind-blowing. I love it. And you guys know that the thermical fermentation coffee, that Costa Rican from Good Brothers, is my all-time favorite. I have a bunch of it frozen there, and we'll revisit that again sometime soon. But yeah, a lot of the roasters, they'll buy the same beans. They'll give their own take as to roasting those beans, and you might get something a little bit more special from one than another. But at the end of the day, as long as they know what they're doing, and let's face it, most of these guys are professionals. They all know what they're doing. So you're going to get great results from a lot of different roasters. Now, that being said, I did mention that my next beans that I'm going to order here on the channel is going to be from DAC and Manhattan. I'm going to try these two roasters. I'll order from them and review it with you guys and see what it has to give us. Now, I do have to say that the ones I received from Say were excellent. Now, also, one thing I want to mention is that I also like to show my support for local roasteries. Okay, I go to my local roasters here around town, especially Americano. That is my favorite one, but there's a couple others. Maybe one of these days I'll bring some beans home so that you guys could see them. I've visited whenever I go out on vacation and I am in whatever area we might be in, I always try to visit some local roasteries there and bring some beans back and talk about them with you guys here and show you a little bit of the experience. So I always think that that's fun, and it mixes things up in the channel, right? Gives you something a little bit different. Today will be something a little bit different. We're going to revisit the tea. Of course, we're going to make coffee. I'll pull one of these two bags. I'm not sure exactly which one, and we'll pull a shot of espresso. But we're going to do some tea. Last time I showed you guys the Gung Fu tea, or the Eastern kind of take on tea brewing, a method that is used mostly in the Eastern part of the world, specifically in China. As far as I know, it's called Gung Fu tea. That's how they call it. And it's a traditional way of brewing tea in China. And we talked a little bit about that. I think it was in the video where we reviewed the coffee from Square Mile. That's another roaster, okay? So the coffee from Square Mile. If you guys want to see that video, just comment below. I'll give you the link to it. I'll look it up and give you the link to it. But there we did Gung Fu tea. We did that Chinese traditional way of brewing tea, and I talked a little bit about the method and the ideology behind it. I told you guys about the tea pets and all that stuff, and it was a lot of fun. But today we're gonna do a Western style of brewing. I have been given a couple of little gifts that I'm gonna showcase today here on the channel. So we'll brew tea in a Western kind of traditional way of brewing tea. Last time we made the oolong. Today we'll make the Earl Grey. And yeah, let's take it over to the other counter. I'll start the tea first, and then I'll work on the shot of espresso. So let's take it over to the other counter and brew some tea.
Keep it up one more minute. Keep it up, you're so great. Standing, talking, you got me checkmate. No one's watching or nothing. I have cleared out the room, also that you can get to be the big spoon. Ooh, cuddle me blue. Take me to the edges of you.
All right, so as you guys can see, I have a new tea kettle. This kettle is to brew tea in a Western kind of style. Inside, there's a little strainer where you put your tea leaves into, and then you just let them steep. Usually 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that, and you're ready to go. My understanding is that for what we're gonna be brewing, the Earl Grey, I've already have made this tea several times, not on the channel, but I have been playing around with it for a while. Now, what it says here as far as instructions, and again, I'm not so familiar with tea as I am with coffee, so kind of take what I say here with a grain of salt, and you should always do that anyway, because like I always say, I'm not a coffee professional, okay? I'm not a doctor or an engineer, so just, take it with a grain of salt. This is for fun. This is for us to kind of share and, enjoy our hobby together and just grow our little family here. So yeah, but what it says here is just to use like 1 teaspoon per cup of tea that you're gonna be brewing. So 1 cup is more than enough. So I'll just probably follow these instructions and get this going. So basically this is cast iron, by the way. It's like extremely heavy. Like I said, it was a gift from my sister-in-law, Anna. She's given me like a lot of little coffee things and tea stuff, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. The mocha pot that you guys have been seeing in the background and the little canister, we haven't talked about that just yet, but I think I'm getting ready to do that. Today we were going to swap out the burrs and install the espresso burrs on the niche duo, but I think I'm gonna leave that for next time, because now that we're gonna be making tea and I wanna talk to you guys a little bit about this, so I don't want this to get super long. So we'll do that on the next one. Today we'll pull our shot with the niche 0. But I wanna leave the tea kind of brewing while I do my puck prep, and then we'll be enjoying some tea as we go. Now the little teacups, they're also cast iron. So, I mean, maybe you could hear this. I mean, these things are very heavy, really cool, but it is real like cast iron. They're hand painted, very pretty, Maybe one day I will have the space in my kitchen to kind of have a display to show all of these items. That is my end goal here. That mocha pot that you guys have been seeing in the background was a gift from my wife, and it's very pretty. I love it. You know, I just want to use it as a backdrop to my videos and kind of have it on display for, just for pretty. I don't want to use that one. I don't want to get it messed up. Now this, you know, again, this is, since I'm not gonna be putting this on the heat, you know, there's really nothing that can happen to it. We're just gonna use the regular electric kettle to heat the water, and then I'll pour it over the leaves and just let it steep for a little while. So yeah, that's the process with this. So let's get this thing going, and then we'll do our puck prep, and we'll open up one of the bags of coffee that I just got from Good Brothers. Again, after these two bags go, definitely I'm gonna order the two coffees I mentioned. So I think it was DAC and Manhattan. I think it's what we settled on, but I'll take a look. I think that's what it was, but I'll look, and whatever it is that we put in the comments, that's what I will be purchasing. And you guys will see it here on the channel. We'll review it. But again, guys, I have reviewed a lot of different coffees here from a lot of different roasters. Okay, Side Glass. These were, most of these have been suggestions. Like Beanstalk, Carrie told me about that one. Side Glass and well, in Ritual, I believe it was the gentleman's name, I believe was Michael. You know, John told me about the Lavazza coffees. I have reviewed like regular kind of coffees that you can find basically anywhere. You guys know how I always brew that Dunkin' coffee and some other ones that are just regular run-of-the-mill coffees. They're not specialty, but you know, you can find a lot of good coffees out there at just regular places, like at your local roaster. Go check them out. You know, show support for the local people. All right, so let's go ahead and put, I guess, a teaspoon. That's what it says. So I have a teaspoon here. See how much a teaspoon looks like? I might want to modify that. Now, one thing about the tea, the oolong and the Earl Grey, man, the fragrance from this, my gosh, it'll knock your socks off. I mean, okay, first of all, okay, something like this is whole leaf tea, okay? Whole leaf tea with the finest ingredients. This is specialty tea. Like we have specialty coffee, this is specialty tea. I'm not saying that this is maybe the best one out there or anything like that, but it is a true specialty tea. It's something that is done with the utmost care, and it shows, it shows. You open this bag and the fragrance from this, it is so spectacular. I don't know, I don't know how to describe it. It is just wonderful. And the oolong as well, it's the same thing. Now, Earl Grey is not just plain tea leaves. Earl Grey has other, maybe I should put some a little bit here on the counter. I didn't really want to do that, but I want to show it to you guys. I think it's worth a shot. You know what? Let's not put it on the counter. Give me a second. Okay, we'll put it in this little dish. This little dish is really pretty. It's usually has my Pasado WDT sitting in here, but you guys know my whole thing about the WDT thing to hold the Pasado tool. I mean, that was way back on the channel. If you've been watching all the videos, you'll probably remember some of what happened with that, but I'm not getting into that right now. But anyway, I'm gonna use this little dish so I can show it to you guys. Okay, but we're supposed to get 1 teaspoon. So let's see how. Usually I've been making, every time I've made tea, I've been using that Chinese traditional way, the gung fu tea, where you use a lot more leaf and you do a bunch of infusions and you enjoy the tea little by little and you keep infusing it, you keep having some and you share with friends, and that's what I've done up to now. So this is the first time I'm doing this style, but again, there's nothing to it. It's just the amount that I'm using is what I'm, you know, that's the tricky part. Okay, let's see. 1 teaspoon. Okay, this is heaping. This is a good proper teaspoon, but I want to get a lot of flavor. You guys know me. I like it punchy. Let's put a little more. Just a tad more. Okay, let me show you guys that. Okay, I have all the lights on, and now you guys could see that. Earl Grey is made with black tea, so I'll tell you what, all those other little ingredients, you see all the other little stuff in there? Let me move it around a little bit, but you could see all the other stuff. I mean, lighting is still not great, but you could kind of see that. All right, before I end up making a mess, let let me put this into the kettle and then I'll tell you guys what the ingredients are. All right, so I took a picture of it. I'll put it on the screen here so you guys could take a look at it. Sometimes on a picture, it kind of shows better. But let me read these ingredients to you guys. So like I said, it's made with black tea, and then it says orange, blue corn flowers, natural vanilla flavor, natural bergamot flavor, natural cream flavor. So it has some additives along with the tea leaves, and that's what makes up Earl Grey, and that's what makes it special, okay? Oolong is just the rolled up, you guys saw it last time, the little rolled up leaves. They bloom as you brew them, and it's just wonderful, but very different than this. Okay, so it's supposed to be, the temperature here, it says to just pretty much do it at boiling. So I'm just off boiling. Let me go ahead and add my approximately 1 teaspoon. Okay, add it there on the bottom. Oh, another thing is, again, recently in the commentary, you guys suggested that perhaps my pour over videos would do better if I showed like an overhead angle of what it is that I'm doing. I know that that's a great idea. It just, you know, it's gonna add more clips, more to my workflow. You know, I always try to comply with what you guys ask me for. So I'll try to make that happen. We'll see. I do know that, you know, that is something that would add interest to the video, but we'll see. It is a bit more work. Okay, so let me put this off to the side. Okay, now it says 1 cup of water, so I'm just gonna, you know, do it by volume. Okay, so we're looking for 1 cup or 8 ounces. Okay, that should be 1 cup right there. All right, and then we just pour it over the leaves. Okay, I didn't do such a great job there. Okay, since I spilled a little bit, I'm just gonna add a little bit more. I had a feeling that was gonna happen. I'm really bad at using that thing. Okay, I do have to make sure that it is submerged in the water because this is kind of made for like doing a lot of tea, and as I can see, you know, it's not gonna cut it. For making a small batch, it's not ideal. It's not ideal because for making a small batch, you need something smaller. Like that's one of the advantages of the gung fu. You just put right into the leaves, and then what you guys have to see is just different. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do another teaspoon and add another cup of water to see if it ends up being submerged. I had a feeling that this being the first time that I was doing this, things were not gonna go perfect. Okay, let's add another teaspoon. There we go. We're gonna have to make a big batch. Okay, obviously I'm not gonna drink all this tea here now, but you guys know that I don't throw away any of the stuff that I brew here. I don't make the coffee and throw it out or anything like that. So what I will do is have as much as I want, and then the rest I'll put it in the refrigerator and make iced tea. So that will be a nice, lovely way of enjoying this a little bit later on. Okay, so I'm gonna have to try to do another cup. Do I even have enough water in the kettle for 2 cups? I don't know. Usually, you guys know when I make coffee, it's just like 1 serving for me. It's 300 grams. Now today I filled it up more. I did fill it up pretty much all the way. And you guys have seen the one video when, you know, you can't fill the kettle past, I think it's about this point. Inside it has a line, and you gotta watch out for that, because if you fill it too much, then when you go pour, it just comes out the top, and it is no bueno. Okay, let's go with another cup in there. Now, let's see if we can make less of a mess at least this time. Hold on, let me get this out of the way a little bit. Okay, once again, I did a poor job. But we're getting there, let me see. You know, it's still not steeping. Okay, what should I do? Another teaspoon? Yeah, it's okay. This is gonna be a lot of tea, but you know, Anna, I think I'm gonna call her to come and have some tea. She's gonna have to help me out with this tea. Okay, so for doing single servings just for yourself, this is not a good way. I'll do my usual gun fu tea. Although on gun fu tea, you might end up using as much leaf as you see me put in there now, because you use quite a bit more than what you would do here. Because the steeping time is very short. You steep and you have some tea, and then you steep again and you have some tea, and it's kind of tea tasting kind of thing. All right, we're going with another, oh, definitely I'm not gonna have enough water. Now I gotta heat up water. All right, so as the water gets up to temperature, let me tell you guys something about the new tea pet. So as you can see, we have a new member of our little tea family. So I started with the little fox here. As you guys, if you saw the first video, then you know the story, how, my fox is a rescue. It came broken, it had lost an ear, and I, kind of mend her back together so I wouldn't have to send her back and she would be destroyed. So she is a rescue, I saved her. And then we have the little turtle. But now, I didn't know, but it turns out that the fox is a boy, right? So, and now he has a girlfriend. So, wow, look at that, gorgeous, right? I hear she's a fox. I had to do it. Okay, so yeah, so my rescue fox has a girlfriend now, and it was again a gift. I didn't know that mine was a boy, and I don't know enough about foxes. But yeah, so now the turtle, maybe the turtle's a little bit lonely. We got to get the turtle a girlfriend as well. So, but that's the story. We have a new member of the tea pet family. Okay, so the water's getting up to temperature. Maybe you could hear that. Let me show you. So yeah, it turns out that tea pets are a thing when it comes to gun fu tea, or the Chinese traditional way of making tea. You usually have a tea pet and you offer them some of your tea as you're brewing. And the thing about the foxes is, they're special. They're special. I'll show you guys in 1 second. If you've been watching all the videos, then you know what it is I'm talking about. Now, I don't know what's gonna happen with this. It's been sitting in there, but again, it's just, it had the water flow over it, but it's not like steeping in the water. All right, so the water is up to temperature now. Let me move this out of the way. I don't wanna have some kind of a disaster happen, so. Okay, let me show you guys what happened with the little foxes. So as you're brewing your tea and you're making tea, you might wanna offer your tea pets a little bit of tea. So if you offer a little bit of tea, or in this case, it's just hot water, but to the little turtle, she'll appreciate it. But the foxes appreciate it in a different way. Check that out. Isn't that like super cool, right? Look at the boy. Now notice, remember I said he's a rescue, and his ear is just not fully functional, but at least he's still with us, right? That's the main thing. He's still with us. But here you go, buddy. Here you go. But you see the ear doesn't completely react everywhere. But wow, look at the tail. Beautiful, right? All right, so yeah, those are the tea pets. I figure I showed you guys that once again. So yeah, today I'm making the Earl Grey. And the reason why I'm making the Earl Grey is kind of like, I felt like having tea, right? You know that these videos revolve around my brew sessions, not the other way around. I don't set out to, okay, I'm gonna make a video about this. I kind of like, okay, I feel like making tea. Okay, so today we're recording tea. That's kind of like what happens. Although obviously if I have a new coffee, then I always try to brew the new coffee so we can open the bag together and I can guess at the tasting notes and all that good stuff. And that's about to happen. That's gonna happen in a little bit. Give me time, give me time. Let me put one more cup of water in this thing, see if I could ever get this thing to be steeping. But let me see, maybe I can show you guys. Because what's happening is that there's not enough water still in the kettle to kind of cover or reach where the tea leaves are. The water is in there, but there's just, you can't even see it. Everything's black, so. But yeah, it's still not reaching the tea leaves. So let me put one more cup of water in there and see if we can get it done. Okay, let me get one more cup of water. Okay, so now we have 3 teaspoons in there, 3 cups of water. Hopefully this will be enough to get this thing going. Again, I know I'm doing this all wrong, guys. You know, again, this is just for fun, and this is the first time I'm using this, so yeah, I'm struggling. Are we steeping? Honestly, we are not steeping, and I'm kind of giving up. At this point, I mean, how much? So that means I gotta make about 6 cups of water to, you know, that's a lot of tea. I gotta have the whole family over. You know, this is, I'm gonna keep going because, you know, like I said, I'll just make it into iced tea, but wow. You know, honestly, I think I need more than 1 more cup. I might need 2 more cups. Man, that's a lot more Earl Grey than I wanted to have today. Okay, pretty soon I have to do more, heat up more water. Oh my God. Okay, at this point, I'm just gonna pour everything in there. Like I said, I know this is all wrong. Hopefully it tastes good, that's the main thing. And although it hasn't been steeping, I keep pouring water over it, kind of like if I was brewing coffee. I think I'm gonna taste it after this. Oh, but we are steeping now. Okay, it's in the water now. Oh yeah. Okay, now it's in the water for sure. Let me move it around a little bit. Yeah, for sure now it's in the water. So wow, I lost count. I don't know if that was 4 or 5 cups of water. This is a lot of tea. I mean, I gotta say. So if you're just one person, an individual, and you're making tea just for yourself, definitely this is not the way you wanna go. This is like too much. Okay, let's cover it. We're gonna give it, I don't know, 4 minutes, something like that. Okay, I can put this off to the side, put it on the stove. You know, that was extremely heavy to begin with, and now with all that water in it, it's really heavy. All right, so I'll taste it in a second, tell you guys what I think of it. And I mean, I've had this Earl Grey already several times, it's great. Even my machine timed out, which that never happens anymore, but I mean, I've been heating up water and trying to make this tea now for quite a while. All right, focus should be locked. You know, before, you know, let me get ready for it just in the event that this gets messy again. So I do want to try one of the little cups, and I'm kind of scared now of trying to serve this, that it won't make a mess, but okay, let me move this out of the way. Okay, focus should be locked like right around here. Man, this thing is heavy. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. Okay, no, we're not making a mess just yet. All right, it's pretty easy to serve with it. I could see that. Well, I like the color. You know, probably you guys could see the color as it was pouring out. I really liked it. It looks, it looks very appealing. You know, the aroma after you brew it, it is great, but I have to say that in the bag, it's something else. It's next level. You guys, you know, maybe you should buy this just so that you could smell it. It's, you know, it's like a potpourri, like sweet and wonderful, flowery, beautiful, the most beautiful potpourri you could think of. That is what I get when I smell that bag of tea. The oolong smells great also, but different. Okay, you would easily be able to tell them apart. The flavor is wonderful. I would say that it's, I mean, since I don't know so much about tea, for me it's great, it's perfect, you know. When I've made it the other way, there are times you're gonna get the same flavor like this, but then it varies every time you steep it, you're gonna get a little bit different strength, a little bit different flavor. But right here, I think is great. Absolutely, and it has that great aroma. Man, that's nice. Okay, so I'm gonna have some of this and get our shot of espresso ready. Okay, let me relock the focus and start the scale. And okay, we're gonna open. I know that, okay, this bag, I don't remember exactly what it is. The other one, I know it's a Diego Bermudez. I think it's a co-ferment because it says lychee. So the other one, guessing at the tasting notes, I'm not sure if there's a point, but I will always guess at the tasting notes and give you what I think. Because a lot of the times, what it says in the bag is not what I think. So in this case, we'll see. This one does have tasting notes, I don't remember at all. And this is just, from what I remember, this one's supposed to be just a clean washed coffee. Okay, I'm gonna cut this off because I don't wanna keep pulling on it and perhaps damage the bag. I do have my canisters there, but usually these bags are so high quality that if you go through your bag of beans like in a month, it's gonna taste the same whether you leave it in here or put it in one of those fellow Atmos. It makes no difference. I do have one available, so if anything, I will put it into the Atmos. All right, so let's do 18 grams. You know, right now, while I've been recording this, it seems like like a huge struggle to get that tea to brew. And it seems like, wow, it's, like, these clips is gonna be like crazy. But then when I put it all together, it's usually not that bad. Like you guys might think like, no, it's not a big deal. But believe me, I struggled with that. Okay? We got 18 grams. Okay, let's check the aroma. I did get a little something. Okay, just clean, washed. I don't get any kind of funkiness. Nothing like that Earl Grey. I mean, that is just, as far as the aroma, there's no comparison. Okay, just you have to try one of those things. This, is coffee. It does not have a particularly great aroma. It's just clean, not a ton of smell associated with this one. So let's grind it. Now, where should we? Lately, we've been doing like 13, 14. You guys know how I like them Slayer shots. All right, you know what? I'm gonna go right in the middle of those two. I'm gonna go 13 and a half and hope for the best. So I know this is, I haven't shown you the roast level, but this is quite light. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, we'll take a look at that, show it to you guys, but it is quite light. And so yeah, 13 and a half. And we'll go for a Slayer shot like usual. I mean, with this kind of roast, 30 seconds pre-infusion, 30 second at 9 bar, usually great results. So let me show it to you guys. Okay, there you see it, guys. It seems to me like always, like on the screen on the phone, it looks darker than it really looks on real life. But yeah, it's quite light. Let me take a picture. I'll put it here on the screen so you guys could take a look at that. So I recently shot a video where I remembered to kind of put the scale like this so you guys could see the numbers. And although the phone is quite low on the counter, I think we were still able to see the numbers. So let's take a look. You should be able to see there the 18 grams. I put everything back in the little cup and we're gonna grind at 13 and a half and see if we get our 18 grams out. We always check retention on this channel, guys. Let me have a little bit more of my tea. Yeah, Earl Grey is lovely, guys. If you've never tried it, give it a shot. But again, it's like I was saying last time, just espresso is way more intense than tea, okay? Tea is like nowhere near. Espresso is like a shot of whiskey, and tea is like a fruity cocktail. Okay, let's go. Man, those beans are fighting today. I've never seen anything like this. Wow, you saw that? Okay, let's give it a tap, but I'm gonna run this thing again. They were fighting. Okay, we tap the spout because there's always like a little bit of dust comes out, and sometimes you maybe get another, I don't know, like gram or 2 grams out by doing that. So then you don't have to use your little bellows, although we do have it available if we need it. All right, let's see if we got our 18 grams. All right, you see there, 17.9. I'm gonna roll with that. Man, this is gonna be a long video to, to edit for me. Okay, first we're gonna do my usual like declumping in the, not really declumping, but kind of fluffing things up in here in the catch cup. Yeah, I'm not getting much on the aroma, just clean, you know, very clean. Okay, I haven't pulled any shots, so this is dry. Okay, I'm gonna move you guys in closer for the WDT. I think the female fox, I'll call her Roxy. I don't know why that just sounds appropriate. None of the other pets have a name. If you have an idea, let me know. let me know. Okay, just move that around. Make sure that the density of grounds is pretty much the same everywhere. Give it a couple of taps and then we're gonna tamp. Okay, I'm not risking it with Pasado today. I'm gonna go with the the regular Lelit tamper. Okay, and with this one, just pretty much, man, I nail it every time. It's nice and even, little polish. Got a little coffee out this time. Okay, we're good. All right, so now we come in with the puck screen and we're gonna pull a shot. Paddle at 5. Let me set up the cameras and I'll be back with you guys in a second. All right, so now I have all the cameras running. Today we're gonna be on the time more. Okay, here we go. You guys know how I love that automatic espresso function. I know a lot of people that have, how do you call it, scales like this, and they don't use that, and I love it. So, that's why I say, to each their own, man. Just do your thing, whatever makes you happy. Be kind to others, be helpful in the world, try to be an asset to people, and that's about all we could do, right? Just be nice. Okay, here we go. But do your thing and be happy. Okay, so I start at 5 o'clock, and when the pressure starts coming in, usually around 9 seconds, I start closing it to kind of level off around 2.5. And I'm gonna do a pre-infusion of about 30 seconds. Now, ideally, you wanna start getting some drips. If there's no drips at all, most likely there's no way it's too fine. Most likely we're not gonna get anything. So here we go, 30 seconds and it's starting to drip. This might be doable, we'll see. I think it's too fine because I barely have the paddle open and I'm already at 9 bar. Let me see. Well, it's starting to pick up speed. Who knows? It might work. It definitely is too fine. So 13.5 is too fine for this coffee. I'm gonna still do my 45 grams out, and if it tastes good, and that's all there is to it. So we'll see. It's ramping down. I'm gonna let it lose pressure there as the puck degrades. Wow, that's some nice crema. I mean, the shot looks beautiful. So I do a 1 to 2.5, so 18 grams in, 45 grams out. I stopped it just under. Wow, 44.9, so close. 54 seconds since first drip, so almost a minute since first drip. 85 seconds overall, so almost a minute and a half shot. Now, for some of you guys, right now you're saying, wow, this is nuts. Okay, let me stop some of the cameras. So yeah, I understand that. But in my experience, usually, I try for like a minute long shots, and it works great for these lighter roast coffees. Don't try it on a dark roast. Don't try it on something with like no acidity. It usually doesn't work out well. But coffees with acidity and coffees that are lightly roasted, you can do a minute long. Now again, my Bianca says 95 as the brewing temperature, but it's more like I'm brewing probably more around 85 than 95. So it's not so hot, and usually it works out great. Now the shot looks great, it looks fabulous. I don't think you guys, the GoPro just never does it justice, but it looks great. Give it a swirl and a taste. Yeah, there's no way I'm throwing that away. I mean, it might not be, obviously I'm gonna try to grind coarser. So I'm at 13 and a half. Maybe I'll go all the way to like, let's see, like 16. Maybe I'll try 16 next time. That might get me there to where I'm pulling like a minute long shot, maybe even a little bit faster than a minute. But you know what? I'm not throwing this out because it tastes great. Yeah, it's a bit intense. It is a bit over extracted. I could do better than this. I'll report back to you guys. It is over extracted. There is some bitterness, but it's doable. And you know what? Maybe we're gonna use the Americano method once again. So let me try it one more time, because like I said, it's just a bit intense, a bit too much. Yeah, there is some bitterness. It is over extracted, I will admit it, there's no doubt about it. Let's turn it into Americano and see what happens. Okay, since usually last time I think what I did, and as of the recording of this video, I still don't have suggestions from you guys as to how to dilute an Americano, like the ratio of espresso to water. So for now, what I'm gonna do is kind of like what I did last time, where just by volume, looking at it, I had taken like the same, like 3 or 4 sips out of it, and the espresso was about right there. And then I know where I filled it with water, and it kind of worked out just great. So I'm gonna use the same method. Now I don't like using the water from the steam boiler because it's just too hot. And then, I gotta let it cool down because it's just too much. This water's too hot. But I think that much water to what I had as of espresso is probably a 1 to about 1, probably like 1 to 1.5, 1.5. So just a little bit more water than there is espresso. I have a feeling that off with their heads. I thought for sure that was gonna be like too intense. I don't remember. Yeah, it was off with their heads. I'm not sure if it was, I thought at first that was gonna be too intense of a cup, but I have a feeling that it's probably correct. I think definitely a 1 to 5, there's no way. That's too much water. Maybe 1 to 2, 1 to 3. This is only like 1 to like 1.5. Let's see if it's too intense. I'll let you know. Okay, the problem is that it's so hot. You see, it could use a little bit more water, but right there it's already doable. So maybe a 1 to 2 would be good for an Americano. What do you guys think? Anyway, comment below. Let's go to the other counter and wrap things up. I want to wrap up things kind of quickly because you guys, you just don't understand. I turned this video into probably like an hour long, like all my other ones, but I've been at this for probably double that, like 2 hours. It's a bit much. So let's wrap it up real quick. Let's go to the other counter. All right, so let's wrap things up. Cheers. I don't know if I should guess at the tasting notes today, because I didn't get the shot good enough to be able to do that. I think I might misjudge this coffee altogether, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna guess at the tasting notes today. I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it all wrong. Now, as far as although I struggled so much with the Earl Grey, okay, the result is excellent. Man, it smells great, it tastes great. I did an excellent job with this, although I struggled a whole bunch. So what I'm gonna do is, have some more here and enjoy it, and then whatever's left, I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator and make some iced tea tomorrow. So, all right. So I don't know if I did such a great job today, but hopefully you guys had a little bit of fun and you enjoyed hanging out with me here for however long this video ends up being. Be on the lookout. We're gonna review, I think it was Dak and Manhattan. I will order those coffees. And next time we'll open the bag of Diego Bermudez and see what we get from that. I hope should I say I hope? Now that's too harsh of a word. But maybe it's not, maybe it's not the same lychee like we got from Black and White, because I mean, brewing it and having the coffee itself was great, it was fine. But with the whole experience in the bag, it was just, if you haven't seen it, check out that review of the Black and White coffee, the lychee from Black and White. I wonder if it's gonna be the same thing. But like I said, a lot of the roasters buy the beans from the same places. So it's the same beans. They just roasted maybe a little bit different, but for the most part, you're gonna get kind of the same experience. Although, yeah, some roasters might do a better job than others with those particular beans. But all right, so that being said, I think I'm gonna wrap things up right here. Hopefully, at least you got a laugh out of this whole thing. And thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys a whole bunch. My little coffee family here on YouTube. Please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you guys next Sunday.